Why do you do what you do? This question is something that I try to think about every single day. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What are my motives? Is it good? Is it what God would want me to do with my time, with my abilities? And there's a particular project I'm working on right now that has me wondering why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so I want you to think about, honestly self-evaluate what it is that you do and why you do it, what your motives are. Only being honest is going to reveal to you what you should pursue. So if you're on the right track, if you're doing good, stay on that track, right? But if you're not, then something's got to change. And so be honest with yourself, get feedback from those closest to you, but make those adjustments. And I cannot simplify it any more than that. But it's not necessarily that easy because it takes consistent focus, taking every thought captive, deep diving, and really being intentional with your life every single second, every single minute of the day. So it does take time, it does take effort. Meanwhile, these religious leaders we read about, following up on yesterday's devotional, about how they were all about talking, but not necessarily walking out what it is that they said they believed, what they held others accountable for. They were more concerned about their outward appearance, how others perceived them. Others praised, revered, respected, honored them in the general public. They were all about being seen doing the right thing. But what's really important is what others don't see. Putting in the work when no one is looking. Because eventually what you put into practice at home will be revealed in public. But these guys had it all backwards. They were all about having a public scene and making sure others saw them do the right thing. But inside they were pretty corrupt. So let's take a look inward. Make sure we're checking in with our motives and why we are doing what we are doing. The Bible is obviously a phenomenal source for revealing just that, our purposes. There's no better book. But if I can suggest another book, another piece of literature to read, it's called Start With Why. Read that, implement the suggestions in there so you can discover your why and why you do the things you do. And at the core, you will find they are very biblical principles. The book won't say that, but some of the principles in there, you can cross-reference with God's word. And so I encourage you to read other literature that, aligns with God's word. The more you dive into God's word and other resources, you can see where the intersection is. And that's the stuff you need to apply. At least that's been my experience. So I encourage you to step back, take a look at yourself, evaluate the areas that you maybe need to do better in, why you're doing the things that you're doing, and so you can become the person that God created you to be.